Bonjour, Zama. It's coming up to 10 o'clock, 29th of April, 2023. And I hear someone's threatening to dox Mandy. So let's talk about it. Who's doxing Mandy? Who's doxing Mandy? I say, who's doxing Mandy? Bonjour, savage, Arabian. How the devil are everyone? Tonight I am drinking Tiger, the world-acclaimed Asian beer. Did you know it's award-winning, it's full-bodied, and it's born in Singapore? So everyone, who is doxing Mandy? Mandy is my #1 subscriber. I got a very distressing message earlier on from Mandy saying, bye-bye, Matt. So, what the fuck is going on with Mandy? I think someone owes me an explanation. And I'm not talking about Dave Strange. Whoops, I said his name. Didn't mean to. Do apologise. Pretend I never said it. It's delicious. Absolutely delicious beer. How's everyone? No one's talking, okay? I can see if I care. But seriously, who's doxing Mandy? Hey, who's doxing Mandy? Who's doxing Mandy? Can anyone tell me? Here we go. Bye, Matt. Wish you well, but I can't handle the stress. So who's stressing Mandy out? Is it you? Person who just joined, is it you? Who's stressing Mandy out? Please don't dox me. I don't mean Matt. I will know who has done it. Feel emotionally terrorised. So who's making Mandy feel emotionally terrorised? Hello? Am I talking to myself? Who is emotionally terrorising my #1 subscriber, Mandy? Hello? Am I talking to myself? Who's doing it? Who's doing it? Good evening, Mr. Matthew Taylor. How the devil are you? I'm fine, thank you. To Bob Snob. What a lovely name. To Bob Snob, you today get the 1 million brownie points for being the first, maybe the only person to jump in today and say hi. Don't be shy, jump on in and say hi. It's good that you come in. Do you know who's been emotionally terrorising my #1 subscriber, Mandy Marlins? Do you? Do you? Do you? No, but seriously though, who's emotionally terrorising my mate, Mandy Marlins? Come on. Speak up, you little toe rags. There's somebody out there bullying women, isn't there? Not nice, is it? No. I don't particularly like getting messages saying, bye, Matt. Wish you well, but I can't handle the stress. So I put it out to you. Who's stressing it out? Really? Is that the person? Can you do me a favour and retract that name? Do us a favour. Take it off, will you? But thank you for sharing. Is that who it is? I cannot say anything. Isn't that a shame? I didn't know. I didn't know, really. Oh, such a shame. I didn't know that. I have to wrap up the show. Poor Mandy. Poor Mandy. I had no idea. Oh, that's a shame. There's a bit of a dampener on things, that is. And I was thinking this back to myself, you know. I don't know about you, but there's nothing I can say on the internet without certain people kind of like going, how, just judging me. You know, isn't it amazing how people judge each other? You know, oh, disgusting behaviour, what was said last night on a live, which, you know. But there is a new breed of people out there. You know, there may be rare breeds, but there are new breeds of people out there. And I think we will have to be aware of the new breeds of people. The rare breeds, the new breeds, the old breeds. There's lots of breeds out there. Hello, Lenny. Hello, Lenny. We was going to talk about Mandy being emotionally terrorized, but we're going to have to move on from that subject because I've been told who it is, and of course, you know, we don't talk about nobodies. This is a channel for people who are real. Old bread usually goes green, Matt. Yes, it does, doesn't it? Well, I haven't heard you being called Leonard before. Leonardo. Hello, Bob. Hello, Bob, my old uncle. Well, I'm drinking a Tiger. And then I've got a couple of bottles of wine, so I'm well stocked up on a refreshment. Welcome to everyone coming in. We were going to discuss about why my #1 subscriber, Mandy Marlins, is leaving YouTube, emotionally terrorized, apparently. I've just been informed of the reason why. And, well, we don't discuss nobodies on the Matt Taylor TV show. We only discuss people of worth. Do you understand what I'm saying at all, y'all? People of irrelevance aren't mentioned or referred to. That's just the way of the world. Yes, not many people call me Matthew, don't they? I mean, you've insulted me a bit by using one T, but I don't mind. We're friends, Lenny. We're friends. I totally understand. You know, totally feel free to spell my name wrong. It's cool. Yeah, but it's funny how I still get called Matthew on a regular basis, especially in my neighbourhood. Funny enough. So anyway, how's everyone been? Hey, what's everyone been up to? This is called Who's Doxing Mandy? Well, I now know who's doxing Mandy, or threatening to dox Mandy. And it's just a sad indictment of YouTube that people out there feel as if they are allowed to judge other people. You know what I mean? There's this judge, and it's Grobnob is part of it as well. You know, he feels as if he's the judge, jury, and executioner. Only we can decide who frequents YouTube. We decide what channels we like. You know what I mean? It's just so childish, but this is the world we live in today. My only advice to everyone is just say no to radicalization. Okay, some people may say that you're actually being radicalized by me. I mean, I don't know how you feel about that. Do any of the members in the audience feel as if they're being radicalized by me? Because this is a very serious subject, because I don't know whether some of you know that I've been put onto the channel program. I've been asked, it's a voluntary thing, I've been asked by Sussex Police whether I'd like to go onto the channel program, because I've been identified as a vulnerable adult, pushed to the edge of the spectrum, just like Mandy. Mandy's been emotionally terrorized. I too have been pushed to the edge of the spectrum, so much so that I'm now on the channel program. It was offered to me by Sussex Police, and I gladly accepted their assistance. So I've now been classed a vulnerable adult by Sussex Police, and I should be getting further instruction on Tuesday. Lenny says, I'm radicalized to eat junk food by TV, a brainwashing. Yes. Us Taylorites are here on Own Free Will. Love it. They were the good old days, weren't they? Those Taylorite days. Those were the days, my dear. Those very special days, my dear, where we used to talk like friends talk. Those were the days, my dear, where we used to laugh, my dear. And we used to laugh and talk and laugh. Then he asks, how much longer before Western civilization collapses? Good question. I think we've got another Western civilization. Another 1,000 years. I think we've got another 1,000 years. No, I am not David Koresh. If anyone isn't familiar with David Koresh was the cult leader at the Waco, I think I pronounced that. Waco, sorry, I do apologise. At the Waco Ranch. David Koresh, the Messiah. Yes, Lenny's right. I am not the Messiah, everyone. I'm just a naughty boy. Oh, I got a bit naughty last night, didn't I? I do apologise for that, because it was very lewd of me. Lewd. L-E-W-D. And it's a fault of mine. I do get a dirty little pervert when I'm drunk. Well, I'm a dirty pervert most of the time, really. But when I'm drunk, it really comes out. And even though it's all banter, it isn't very nice. And I do apologise for being so lewd last night. But hey, it doesn't mean that it gives you an excuse to judge me. You know what I mean? And to make videos about how perverted you may think I am. You know what I mean? It's fucking entertainment. And I'm fucking pretty fed up of being judged by a bunch of fucking dickheads who don't show their fucking faces and who can never do what I do. It's just fucking tiresome. And I'm personally upset now because fucking my #1 subscriber, Mandy Marlins, feels emotionally terrorized. And anyone who goes out there and negates that by negating the impact of her words, fuck yourselves, right? Go and fuck yourselves. Because here we have a person coming out and saying, I feel emotionally terrorized by people on the internet, and we all know their names, okay? And if anyone's going to laugh at that, fuck you, you horrible little toe rags. Start listening. People are being emotionally terrorized. I am being emotionally terrorized. I know exactly what Mandy is going through. Mandy and I aren't the only two being emotionally terrorized. We can see it in front of our eyes with Katie being emotionally terrorized. So many people are being emotionally terrorized, and the people who are doing it are fucking getting away with it. So what are we going to do about it? Yes, that's a question for all of us. What are we going to do about it? We've got to do something. We've got to do something because we're losing people like Mandy from the platform. Mandy only brings common sense, friendship and fun to every live she contributes with. So why the fuck are we allowing idiots to get rid of the likes of Mandy Marlin? Start a revolution. What do you fucking think I've been doing with Andy Devine and Johnny fucking Two Shoes from New Zealand? It's like, you lot are so fucking slow. It's like, yeah, man, we need a revolution. It's like, right, we're starting one. Oh, he's a scammer. Oh, fuck. You can't fucking win. So why don't you all fuck off and do your own streams? Yeah? Instead of relying on me to fucking give you something to live for. Right? Because quite frankly, I don't see why I should fucking bother if my number one subscriber, Mandy Marlin, ain't watching. If Mandy Marlin ain't watching, what's the use of fucking doing? That's what I say. Because I'm a giver. I'm not here to take anything from you. I'm here to give. I'm here to satisfy. I'm here to keep you with your smile firmly on your face. But I haven't got a smile on my face knowing that Mandy Marlins is being emotionally terrorized by fucking lowlifes like you. Yes, you who are listening. All those who identify as fucking lowlifes, you're the people I'm talking to. You horrible lowlife pieces of radicalized victimhood. Matt, where is the rugby capital of England? Is rugby union bigger than rugby league? Well, it depends on who you discuss. I imagine you will be more familiar with that, mate. I don't know where the rugby capital of England is. No. Matt, are you getting out much these days? Being on the internet all day isn't normal. No offence. Like, well, I was out today. I done a chore. I cleaned out underneath the stairs. Went to the tip. Got rid of all my shit. I got a demijohn. Picked up a demijohn for nothing. Offered 50p. He said, nah, take it, mate. So I got a demijohn for nothing. That means I can do my own, start on my own home brew. Went down the marina. Fucking Asda was packed. I bought myself a pair of sunglasses. Came home. Ah, that's nasty. Mackenzie's devil. What do you say such a nasty thing for? Mackenzie girlfriend, why are you nasty, Mackenzie's devils? You know, when I say jump on in and say hi, it's like just come and say hi, everyone watching from where you are. You know, hi. You could even just do eyes, but you've come in and like just done a dig, haven't you? Nasty. Because do you know who else said good riddance to someone? James Hind. James Hind said good riddance to Ross Broadstock within 48 hours of his death, emotionally abusing 3 teenage boys. But I get the impression you don't really mind about that, do you, Mackenzie's? No, you're all into this emotional abuse, aren't you? Be it elderly, young, middle-aged, 20s, 30s, 40s, you don't care. Because you find it funny. Because you've got nothing else going in your life. So you come out and he throws stones at other people. Well, yeah, okay, thank you. Well, I suggest you stop relying on YouTube for your entertainment then, Lenny, if you want to, like, you know. Matt, do you think Michael Hutchence was murdered by Bob Geldof? Do 80s pop stars hire hitmen at a discount? 2 killed 2 pop stars, get the third free. I mean, Lenny is referring to Brian Harvey's recent claims that Bob Geldof of Boomtown Rats ordered the hit of MrX lead singer Michael Hutchence upon this discovery of his affair with Paulie Yates. Went on to kill herself. Number one, I would love to hear more about that. So, but according to Brian Harvey, that may have been made to look like that. Look, let's just show a bit of compassion to other people. Okay, you know, we all know that old saying, walk a mile in somebody else's footstep, in somebody else's shoes. You know, let's just try and be a bit more like, what's the word I'm looking for? Let's try and be a bit more kind of like forgiving for want of a better word. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, she wasn't really. No. Paula Yates didn't really do it for me. I was not really into all those rock chicks. You know what I mean? Hairy armpits. It's all right, I suppose. But I like my ladies being a bit more kind of like librarian look. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, with the glasses, with the hair done up, and then they free their hair and they toss their hair, and then they take their glasses off, and they're just like fucking gorgeous. Anyway, yeah. Got a bit randy last night, I must admit. Emily was in the room. Woo. Emily always brings out the randomness in me. Honestly, she is like, you know what I mean? She's sexy, you know what I mean? Her and Harry have it off in parks. Yeah. Harry told us. Then he made out it wasn't him. Oh, it was so pathetic it was. Do you remember that night, Lenny? Yes, you're right. You got it. You know me so well. How the fuck did you guess? It was Helen Mirren. Oh, she was in Cat People, wasn't it? Something like that. Cat People or something like that. Yes, you know me so well. You know the kind of like, yeah, you got it. You got it. Lenny knows me so well. Good grief. Yes. 1, 2, I buckle my shoe. 3, 4, I tell some more. 8 and 9, ballon. Yes. Do you know who else is also an autoerotic affiliation? It's Grobnob. He's an autoerotic wanker. Did you know? Apparently, he knocks one out a lot with wearing his gas masks. Yeah. Now, I bet you never knew that, did you? Eh? Yes, she was in Excalibur. Yes, she was. I know. Yeah. And wasn't that a great adaptation? Excalibur was one of my favourites. And did you know that Netflix are doing the Warlord Chronicles? That's Bernard Cornwell Bernard Cornwell's done his own adaptation of King Arthur. Here we go. We got Mackenzie's Devil. Here we go, Mackenzie's Devil. Well, I think YouTube would be a better place without you, Mackenzie's Devil. But I don't go around leaving comments, do I? Do I, Mackenzie's Devil? Do I? Look, ring in if you think you're hard enough. But I'm pretty sure you're not hard enough. Because you are a coward. A big mouth. Meanie. Meanie, you are a meanie. Meanie, you are a meanie. Just a big fat meanie. And to be honest, hand on heart, YouTube will be a much better place if you weren't here. That's just my opinion. Nasty person. Oh, you nasty girl. Oh, you nasty girl. Nasty girl. Oh, you nasty girl. What's this? Lenny, you do come out with the most cruddiest fucking jokes in the world. You know that, blood, y'all. You know that, blood. You do come out with the most fucking ridiculous bullshit, mate. Forever. Right, what are you on about? Matt, is it true your mate Puddock has a mobile phone ninja device that can hack any your own UK? Right. How fascinating. How fascinating. How fascinating. Anyway, isn't there supposed to be an engaging blah blah bullshit? And what else are we missing anyway? Not as if you're missing much out there. No. Paul Cook. Love a bit of Paul Cook. I think he's awesome. Who else likes Paul Cook? Love a bit of Paul Cook. Paul Cook is one of those rare breeds of men. One of those rare breeds of YouTubers that just lead from example. Hello, Brian. Good to see you, Brian. Lenny, you mean Pegasus. Hi. Yes, you may have noticed I haven't got rid of anyone at the moment. But look, please, can we be nice? We can be. It's not a question, it's a statement. I know very well we can be nice. It's only satire, sir. I wasn't really going to dissolve him in acid. It's only satire. Satire. Ooh, interesting. Oh, okay. So look, what's going to happen here? Because look, I don't want to be rude or anything, but it's Saturday night, 10:15. You know, the world is really interesting. There's loads of things going on. So what's going to happen? Are we just going to hang around talking shite, or are we going to get engaged, or Ted Lasso? That's all I'm saying. There's a Ted Lasso episode I can watch. I got a 3-month free Apple TV. Love it. So look, I can do things. I don't want to be rude or anything, but what's happening here tonight? Am I really gonna have to put up with questions from Lenny like, Matt, is it true the craze we're getting profits? You'll have to ask Brian. Brian Harvey won't come on to Matt Taylor TV. It's a bit gutting, really. Yeah, man, she was Lenny. I mean, how about you? She was so sweet, weren't she? And what I loved those beautiful women who just looked so sweet, but who would look just as sweet, smiling. I shan't carry on. What's up? Well, what's up? What's happening, Brian? I came in because basically the news is Mandy is leaving. She left some messages saying, bye Matt, wish you well, but I can't handle the stress. Then she goes, please don't dox me. I don't mean Matt. I will know who feel emotionally terrorized. So there's somebody out there who's threatening to dox my #1 subscriber, Mandy Marlin. I come on, ask who it was, straight away I get told who it is. Yeah. It's a nobody. It's someone who doesn't even deserve to be mentioned, so he won't get mentioned. But it's such a shame that the nobodies are doing all the toxicity. And I'm upset because Mandy Marlins is my mate. And quite frankly, why the fuck should I do this if Mandy Marlin ain't watching? What is the use? Because I only do this for you. I do this as a giving exercise. Just like Brian gave me the means to do it. It's a giving. We give. Why isn't Brian Harvey going on your show? Yes, good question. Why isn't he? Look, and Mackenzie's Devil, she thinks it's funny. She just thinks it's hilarious. Oh, it's so funny for you. Well, obviously, when your mental health suffered, you were fortunate enough to be taken to a mental health asylum where you were like cared for 24 hours a day. You're lucky. You're one of the lucky ones. But there are other people who have to deal with it by themselves out in the community. Okay? Matt, what has been the top banter moment of 2023? Oh yeah, when the police are in my house sticking my head in the cat bowl. That was banter, mate. That was my top banter moment so far. Oh no, that was 2022, was it? Oh, there's been so many. The police came around yesterday, funny enough. Matt, what if some absolute nutter tries to wreck the coronation? Eco slacker toffs or weirdos who hate horses racing. You know very well someone is trying to wreck the coronation. Come on, Lenny. That's why we have a military. That's why we have MI5, secret services, for goodness sake. I've already been feted. I've already had the once over by the King's men. Right? Don't worry about it, Lenny. Good sentiment from Brian. But there are some people are nobodies, and there'll always be nobodies. And I'm very upset that Mandy feels as if she has to leave. That's terrible, mate. That is terrible. You know, what has YouTube come to? Where a totally awesome lady like Mandy feels as if she has to fuck off. That she feels she's emotionally fucking terrorized. I hope you're proud of yourself. I hope you're proud of yourself. Truth, you know, MDK, whatever you fucking truth shitter, Mackenzie's devil. I hope you're proud of yourself because you contribute to this. You know that. You contribute it. You contribute to it by being the meanness in the world and expressing that meanness. Very disappointed in you. Is Andrew going to be at the coronation? Surely his presence lowers the tone. Please, God, what are you like, Lenny? Honestly, I don't think you're like an old git, you are, mate. You really are. You should get out more. I'm being serious. You should get out more and stop worrying about other people, mate. Fucking hell, you don't have to moan. Always moaning, you are, Lenny. You get, you know. Well, no, you know, I'm fine. I'm fine, but a bit upset about Mandy, really. You know, I had a good day today. I got a lot of chores done. You know what I mean? I've got some gardening to do tomorrow. I didn't really get any blogging done today. I've had a day off from blogging. Matt, you should, yeah. Linda Lusardi, oh. Beautiful woman, isn't she, eh? Yeah. Yeah, stop talking to yourself, mate. Yeah, Lenny, stop talking to yourself. Well, I'm just, Yes, interesting. I was all set to have a big, like, ding-dong about Mandy. You know, like, who the fuck's doing that? Nasty people out there. There's a new bread of nastiness out there. There's a new bread of nastiness. So no one's going to come on and say hi, that's fine. Listen, I am not going to be hanging around much longer then. Well, should we all shut up? I mean, what's the use of doing it, Lenny? Because we all end up sniping at each other, right? Some very good people end up feeling emotionally terrorized. I end up getting fucking arrested because of it. Brian ends up fucking sending computers left, right, and center. 18 per week. Yeah, I'm up for a chat. Damn right I am. Otherwise, we just go off. I mean, what's the use of doing this if Mandy isn't watching? Well, we all tell you to shut up, Lenny. Don't take offence, buddy. Too much offence is taken, you know what I mean? Too much judgment around here. Everyone judges each other. Fuck off. Just fuck off, you know what I mean? It's a fucking entertainment, you idiot. You know what I mean? God, the only reason you didn't fucking emotionally terrorise the likes of Terry Wogan and Cilla Black back in the day is because you couldn't interact with the TV. Just imagine if fucking you had the same facilities as you had on YouTube now when Terry Wogan went on. Imagine the chat room in a Terry Wogan, you know, conversation on a Wogan show. Fucking hell. And the wankers out there who actually think they could judge and actually pass comment on other people's lives. It's like, are you fucking for real? Are you fucking for real? Especially when they don't fucking do it themselves. Fuck off. Go and see Santa. Idiot. Don't come on, Brian. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Look, I'm ready to wrap it up, mate. I'm ready to wrap it up anyway. I'll watch a Ted Lasso. You know, what's the use of doing this if fucking Mandy isn't going to be on YouTube anymore? So, I'm not in a good mood to talk anyway, Brian. And I'll only say something I regret. And of course, everything I say is just like microscoped, isn't it? Is transcribed and passed on. Because I'm not allowed a voice, no, because I'm the darkness. Fuck off. Fuck off. Idiots, you are idiots. Poor Mandy. And then we got the likes of Truth Shitter coming on and laughing at her, saying the same. Good riddance. Do you know who else said good riddance? James Hind said good riddance to Ross Broadstock. You're using the same language. That's why I describe you like as de facto Satanists. You actually say the same. You disgust me. You disgust me. But honestly, though, does anyone feel as if they're being radicalized by watching Matt Taylor TV? Honest question. Because I've been asked to join the channel program. The channel program is about gang activity, drugs, sexual abuse and physical abuse. So obviously, there's concerns that I'm being radicalized by gang activity. So, is that me radicalizing you, or are you radicalizing me? It's one or the other. But either way, it better stop. Because radicalization leads to the breakdown of society. And we cannot have people being radicalized in the new era. Brian's with us, everyone. Hello, Brian. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're well.
Yeah. You hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you all right.
Oh, great. Right. Yeah, I just hang on. I've got another screen that's showing you 3 seconds later.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm just doing up a computer at the moment. I was wondering if you with us?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm listening.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're definitely there. Right. So I just had my headphones wouldn't work there for a minute, so I've got this headset on, giving me audio and stuff. What do you ever go to other panels, Matt?
No, not really.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, 'cause I just heard you mention that. I just booted up the other computer to come and have a word with you.
When I go on other panels, AJ usually comes on and says Matt Taylor's a pervert, he's a paedophile, and then he just send out links to things. So that's why I don't go on panels.
You can't do that if you go on good panels. You don't go on troll panels, mate. Yeah.
Well,
so, just an idea.
My what's the reputation seems to precede me when I go on panels.
Yeah, maybe, but
who have you been listening to tonight, Brian? Who have you been catching up with?
I was listening to Lee. I was had him on, had Brian Cockerell on in the background, and then Lee, and Big Tony just dropped a really funny video because they've been at that guy all weekend. So pretty mad. Pretty mad stuff going on.
So is this most weekends on YouTube, no doubt?
Well, I'm just finishing off this computer. I'm getting it all updated for this is another one for another person. So we don't have much money, so
well,
I'll maybe help them out here. Do basic stuff in it.
I'm going to be writing an email next week asking for a progress on the investigation. I think that's only fair, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, can't help to ask, Yeah,
I mean, I do claim innocence, and it was happened in last November, the arrest, and we now in April.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's part of your life, and what you do, then I think you've got every right to ask.
And I'm going to ask what's the the progress, and also the return of anything of zero evidential value. Like we mentioned this, didn't we? Namely, your computers should be returned.
Well, yeah. If you never used them, yeah.
But I'm a bit. It's a job I know I have to do, but I'm just dreading it. Anything to do with Sussex Police, I just.
I say my computer, so I think I gave one person one of them, and then they never used them, and another person was supposed to come and pick up one, and I just writ over those drives I got, and put Windows and all that on it. So when I say it's like it wasn't, I think one of the drives or a couple of drives weren't new, but the SSD ones, I don't think they were new. Yeah. So I think one had been used before for Windows on it before, but someone had it, so I just wiped it all and then put Windows on it. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting started with getting all the computer gear back. It's slowly getting back together.
Yeah. So what you need now? Anything you need?
No, I need to get on with getting on doing my King Arthur stories now. Getting on making some.
All right. Okay, that sounds cool.
I feel as if I've got everything I need now. So I'm in
so
the right place.
It's no one been in for a chat tonight, then? Is it just me?
Yeah, it's just you. It always is you, Brian, thankfully.
Oh, wow. All right. Okay. Well, it's one of those things, people love a bit of squeaky drama and stuff. So, when there's no drama, there's no drama. Yeah.
Well, no, there is drama tonight, but it's interesting because of the political atmosphere in which we live in. We cannot discuss it because I wanted to discuss all about Mandy. Like Mandy feels as if she's been emotionally terrorized, but of course, I'm not going to discuss it because the person involved is a nobody, which I don't. We don't talk about nobodies. And so my whole tonight's conversation is out the window.
Well, there's a million other things going on. There's probably a billion other things going on. We'll put this out. How many people are on the planet? 8 billion.
Yeah, but also, we always
there's at least 8 billion other things going on right now.
Well, fair, but the fact that Mandy is leaving YouTube and feels distressed is a concern for me. That I know there's a lot of things going in the world.
It's a concern for Mandy. Yeah.
Concern.
Well, it's nice that
I do feel as a mate. She's part of the family. Mandy is.
Well, it's nice that you have a lot of empathy for Mandy there because she's been here for a long time. So, I'm just wondering who they're going to try and trigger next. Yeah, who is,
Well, not so
And
much the
then
weak ones, but
I just can't wait. I just can't wait till it's my turn.
well, okay.
Yeah, because I'm the kind of person that will. Right? Oh, really? Is that right? Is it? you know, well, some of them tried that, but I'm not a vengeful sort of person. But the thing is that there's thousands of mice all over the world. Thousands of them. Why are you particularly bothered about one? You're not, going around thousands of all these channels around YouTube, thousands of them.
Yeah.
People saying things about other people that aren't true. They're just clipping, and that's just part of the nature of it.
We either
Why bother
embrace
about
it
it?
or we get rid of it completely. I'm all for
Well, you
embracing it
think,
myself.
well, if someone says something on the computer, right? I mean, unless they're standing right in front of you, it's important. It's someone
Yeah,
you don't really know.
yeah.
Saying something about you and other people. I mean, they don't know them.
Look,
So,
that's great, but I'm the one who's getting my door bashed in and all my equipment taken because
yeah, but you know who that is,
yeah, I know it is.
right? Okay. So what about the other stuff? Yeah, I'm empathetic towards people doing that to people, right? For no reason, right? And that, but we get that, we all get that. The point is, when are you going to allow yourself to move on from that and just move
Yeah,
with the
when the
times,
investigation is over, yeah, because I cannot move on until I've got freedom to move on. Until investigation is hanging over me,
Uh,
and I've got bail conditions hanging over me, and my equipment isn't with me, I cannot move on. That's me personally.
uh-huh. So are you looking for some sort of instant justice or something?
It would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah,
Do
wouldn't it?
you see anyone getting? Do you
Yeah,
see
it'd be
anyone
lovely to
getting?
have instant justice.
Do we see anyone getting instant justice in Britain? It's pretty rare, right?
Yeah, it's rare, isn't it?
Yeah, so we're not going to get that. So we've got to be a bit more realistic, don't we all?
Right, there you go. Yeah.
Right.
We should not
Waiting game.
I mean, should we expect justice but at a slower rate or not expect justice at all
Well, we pay for justice, don't we? So we pay for our taxes go towards paying for the justice, don't we? Justice system. So we can always hold it to account if it doesn't act properly. Act on our behalf. In our best interest.
Yeah, okay.
But that's just getting yourself enrolled in some kind of time wasting exercise as well.
Yeah, it's a bit wishful thinking. Think you're ever going to get accountability or justice, maybe.
Oh no, you can get accountability. Believe me, you just got to know a bit about the law and speak to the right people. And I know some of those people that you can speak to. They'll give you some time.
Look, there's always the reason why I got into trouble is because I got somebody else into trouble. And when you get somebody else into trouble, they've got a habit of fucking getting really angry and doing things to you called revenge.
Oh, right.
And revenge crosses all boundaries. Revenge doesn't follow the procedure.
Right. So did you actually start this?
Yeah, I started it all.
Oh, right. I see.
Yeah,
right. Well, that makes it. See that explains a lot, then, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right,
I put my hand up. I poked the hornet's nest.
And what's the hornet's nest?
She got a police chief got referred to the CPS. I made a complaint against her.
All right. Okay. So,
and it got upheld by the IOPC, and it got sent to the, and then it was a very damaging email, a very damaging article put out in the, the BBC.
It would get upheld if it was someone who worked for the police. It would get upheld by the IOPC. It's not called the IOPC.
IOPC passed it on to the Crown Prosecution Service.
Yeah.
The IOPC said yes, it was right. You were right to bring the complaint. And we passed it on.
And at the time, were you doing some sort of investigation into that individual?
Yeah, I was
blogging. They don't like it, do they?
No.
Why don't we like it?
Because it's accountability. They didn't.
Yeah. Goes back
They
to my
don't
point
like the
earlier, mate.
accountability.
Not to be mean to anyone or anything, but when we look back at the last year alone, or even 2 years, how many people have we seen in similar circumstances from the police who've been
I know.
caught and sentenced? Many with just a slap on the wrist, which is ridiculous, but it's all on record.
I think it's perfectly reasonable to ask for DBS. Is that the right one? DBS checks on all police officers who come into my house now. Are you a criminal?
Yeah, basically,
I don't know.
yeah.
You could be a rapist or a murderer.
Yeah, you could do. You could get a background check on them all, see if they have any criminal past.
Being arrested by a police officer who I don't know is a criminal or not. That police officer may have committed more crimes than me.
It's possible. I don't know. I mean, it depends on the size. I mean,
Well,
police
I've only
officers
got
usually
one
get
conviction, and that one civilian conviction, and that was all due to YouTube ridiculousness.
It would depend when they joined, actually. When did, if you could find out the year that they actually joined the police, that would be a good start. We could find out exactly, because there was some people just push people through and let them pass, right?
Because I reckon the standards went down after the Blair years. I'm
not an expert on.
Well, remember at that time I was joining, so I was aware of the entry requirements.
Right.
Back in my day, you weren't allowed to have a criminal record, and then that slowly changed. You were allowed to have cautions, and then you were allowed to have a criminal record, but it wasn't allowed to be a certain type of criminal record.
I've got a friend who's a copper on another island. When I say copper, it's like I don't know what to call it. But they just signed up, and it was a year of one thing and a year of another. And they were in. So 2 years before they became a full.
Yeah, so that's a 2-year probation, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, 2 years training, really. So. Yeah. And we were sitting there, and one of the first questions, and he actually told me about one of the questions they asked. And this is so the guy's standing there, and he's looking at me, because he's just a young guy at the time, this was a few years back. And I said, "You're not a criminal, are you? That's why you're joining the police, are you?" Just like casually asked him,
Funny.
Yeah. I said, "No." This guy'd wanted to be a policeman since he was a child, make the world better. But you just I knew him for a long time, but there you go. And some people do. I've got a couple of people I know that are in the police, so it's a good job for them. Good job for some people. Actually really enjoy it. They get a lot out of it because they make a difference. They're not sitting there listening to people say, "Oh, the police this, the police that," complaining about everything that ever goes on.
Well, I joined the police to lock up, to catch criminals. That was my motivation, and I think that's a lot of people join the police to catch criminals.
Well, it's hard to catch criminals sometimes, but if you have a record, sometimes you can, you do psychology, right? And after that, it's a bit of a, how can I put it? It's a bit of a blur because everything's going so fast, and you're more in tune. As an individual, you feel like you're more immune in a way, and in a club, right, in a group, and in a way you are. This is how this friend described it to me. I'm just trying to remember everything he said to me. It was a while back, and I could also talk about a woman's experiences in the police as well. Maybe another time. I'll not try to mix it up. But when he passed out, just like when you passed out, right?
Yeah.
When after that, see everyone around him, he just didn't want to know them.
Oh, really?
He was, yeah, he became sort of isolated because it was just too much for him, because he didn't want to lose his job, everything he sort of worked towards. And then after about a year or year and a half, that was when he contacted me. And he said, "Hello, how you doing?" He's like, "I remember you ages ago." I says, "Hiya, how you doing, mate?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you know that." So, and then he started telling me about what he'd been doing for the last couple of years. And yeah, he says to me, he says at first it was really hard, to go through the job and stuff. But after a while, it's, I don't know, you kind of settle into it, and it's like anything. Like one morning you could be doing one thing, and the next morning you could be picking a dead person up, or try to save them.
Yeah.
It just depends where you are in the country. But the worst thing was going to the morgue, and watching. I mean, it's smell. I can imagine it from when I was younger. When the first time I seen a dead body. So a dead body being opened up, yeah, and that's just part of the training, part of the job. And so when first time you come across a dead body, that was the hardest part of my job. Because when I went home, I just cried the whole night for the family.
Oh, God.
And the guy just like, cause it was someone that he knew from years back. So being a kind of on the island where he lived. So, and then we had a short conversation and stuff, and he had some other friends to go and chat to and stuff. So he went and spoke to all of them, and but yeah, and of course, I was doing other things at the time, so I couldn't really have a long conversation with him. But that was just one instance of what it was like to join the police for someone. Initially, a short history of it, but very short. But yeah, it can really be really difficult because all you do is put yourself in their shoes and say, right, how am I going to do this and how am I going to do that? I've got all these rules that I have to go by. I have to behave a certain way. I have to be a certain way because that's what I was taught to do, and it can be very difficult. I'm not saying I have empathy for someone who wants to do their job. I have empathy for a human being. I'm not against police doing their job properly.
No, of course, no.
It's nothing
Because
wrong with
sadly,
doing
the bread and butter of a policeman's job is clearing up, attending road traffic accidents, telling loved ones of unfortunate deaths, and then dealing with the lower end of the
people forget that
spectrum.
Yeah, dealing with a lot of youths that are that could spend their life differently. In fact, one policeman once says to me, he says, "Teenagers are the bane of my life,"
I bet.
because all he seemed to do was chase after them almost every night, going from one home to another, trying to interview them, trying to stop the mum from interfering while he's talking to them while she's there, or the father, or whoever was involved. And because not everyone likes the police, not everyone, they'll say they're out, they'll say they're sleeping, and they're up in their room smoking ganja. The reason why the policeman's there, or so something stupid like that, So it's not, in everyone's best interest to sort of slander the police, mate. Because it's a very difficult job, especially if you were ever involved in that. I would think, even military police, that's a bit different. Because you're dealing with a completely different kettle of fish there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, look, Brian, I'm gonna have to go for a moment, okay? A neighbour has just asked me for something.
Right. So you're going to come back, or
Yeah.
is that it for the night?
Yeah, but I'm going to be about 20 minutes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'll head off.
Yeah, well, I'm going to shut down the stream.
Okay, dokie.
And then I'll catch you all again soon, okay?
Good night, Matt.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Have a good life.
I'll be back again soon, okay?
Right. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye,
Bye, everyone.
everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.